Hello and welcome to another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. I'm the player who plays as the King Under the Mountain, and today I'm going to be doing a quick season update video. And I say quick, I say that every time. This one's probably not going to be as quick because quite a lot's happened, to be honest. So we're going to go through the normal stuff. We're going to go through the leaderboards. We're going to go through some battle reports because we've actually had some really nice fights now. We're going to go through what's happening across the map, not necessarily just with us, although a lot of it does involve us, to be honest. We're going to go through the chapter progression. We are going to look at the merit board. We're going to look at a barracks. We'll probably allude to that later on as well. And that's kind of that. So we'll start as always with the map, and there is a lot to talk through. So actually, I will start with the season tracker. So the One Ring has been captured. All this has happened since the last time I did a video. So I think the last time I did a video, it was here-ish. And this was a 7-day counter. So as soon as this counter unlocks and the 7th day is done, one, you get quite a good chest, which is this available from the Treasures of Arda, which has some really nice items in. So again, would recommend using that chest if you're looking to up your gold gear. It's got a good percentage rate. And as always, obviously, if you can, use the top-up link. I'm really bad at actually promoting my own top-up link, which I'm really bad at. It doesn't cost you any more, and it just means I get a small kickback from the game, which is quite nice. Anyway, that's away from that. It's in the description if you're interested. It then unlocks chapter 10, and 10 is an instant unlock one, not a timed chapter, which basically meant Dol Guldur also instantly opened up, and it then meant that people pretty much captured it straight away. So, not to allude to what happened, but here's the map, and you will see we currently own Dol Guldur. We're just going to talk through the map in general. We basically, as soon as it opened up, built the fortress straight away because we didn't know if it was going to open up or not, and we were actually being pressed from a load of different sides. So we basically built the fortress, took Dol Guldur straight away. The Green Kingdom got close and really, really annoyingly killed my siege before the start of the battle. But as you can see, there is a lot of red pins on the map, and I'm going to try and talk through as many as I can. So the Red Kingdom is us. We are Kilt and Hunk. We're having a good time of it so far. It's challenging because, as you can see, we're pretty much involved in a lot of these red pins, and we're pretty spread out. And I'm not going to say it's a server versus us because I don't think it'll stay that way. But we have Avalon and Meow in the south, who started in Darklands and are pretty upset with us, I think, for basically taking Barad-dûr originally, which is fair enough, I think, as far as it goes. I don't know what this light blue colour is here. I need to check that out, actually. So then you have, as like I say, Avalon and Meow, who we are fighting around here. So there is a lot of pins here. 4.6 million, 1.7 million dead. 4.8 million, 1.6 million dead. That's just us in this corner. So this is Kilt, obviously previously Dobie. Peen are also down here, and Peen are helping us, to be honest. We've got some people in Peen from before, so that is a little help. They're not the biggest fellowships, but they are helping. We've just taken Sea of Nirn, and we're kind of progressing through here. It's been a little bit of a stalemate for quite a period of time, that whole area. Then you have Hunk and Odin. Odin is the ex-bank at-me crew type stuff, who I've heard a vicious rumour that he's actually thinking of coming back to play, which would be really nice if he does. Because I think the game needs someone like him back in it if he's willing. So there's a small pin here. Hunk took Taolor the other day just to try and create, I think, a different angle because they were getting pushed through the centre. Odin are kingdom partners with Otter. They started off with Spod, and I don't know if there's any bad blood there or not, but Spod anyway have joined with Mesh up here, and they're doing their own thing. So again, Honk are kind of holding this front around DG into Lorien, so I think they're around here-ish, something like that. Odin and Otter move really well, which is a bit of a problem, so we've had to come across and help a few times just because of the movement that they produce through this sort of area here into the sort of inner workings of Dol Guldur. So it's been tricky in that regard. So they've got a decent pin there, 7.6 million dead. There is another pin here, which is us and a few of, obviously everyone really, I suppose, which is just a smaller pin. This is where people keep coming through from Gladden Fields, because it's just a tunnel in from memory that you can get through into SAV, which is really annoying, because you kind of lock people behind passes as much as you can. Then we've got the pin that I'm mostly involved in at the moment, to be honest, which is this one here versus Ibis and Echo, this Blue Kingdom here. They've been really good fun to fight with. We knew Echo well anyway, because we fought with them. They're along side by side last season, so we knew Echo well. And then with Ibis, we didn't know as well, but we knew they were sort of quite a heavily Asian time zone team, which has caused its own problem because we're quite an EU heavy team, so we tend to push each other at different times, which is a little bit of a stumbling block. But when everyone's on, I mean, the donut players are just silly strong, and we'll go through some reports to show kind of what we're looking at. But yeah, that's been a good pin. We did get this pass back early in the week. We have lost that pass since. They did some uproots around the keep around here, and we've kind of fought back, and I'll sort of go to that tunnel. We're back at a tunnel around here now, and kind of trading blows around the tunnel after last night, where I think a lot of people rallied and we pushed back when it looked like SAV was in trouble. So at the moment we have got those three kingdoms pressing us from each side. I believe the green and the blue kingdom are looking at potentially having a fight together at some stage. But at the moment, it's very much focused on us, which I think is fair enough. It is what it is. In the north, Mesh are heavily hammering Gome and Raw currently, since they've joined with Spod. They are heading towards the capital of this purple kingdom, which is Raw and Gome. And some decent pins as well, 6.7, 2 million dead, 4.5, 1.4 million dead. So there's a lot of action going on this map, which I think is good. There's a small amount of Raw, Ibis and Echo, which I'm confused by, because I think they'd kind of made some sort of nap, so that's interesting. I don't know if that's just leveling up, not sure. And then out here we've got Mad and June fighting each other. Brav and June fighting each other. So there's a lot of the smaller teams as well that have kind of picked fights with each other, which I think is quite nice. But there's been plenty of action on this map, which it's cause for some sleepless nights, put it that way. We still haven't captured the internal passes. I don't know if we ever will for whatever reason, but we still haven't done it. So, and I did get uprooted from over here eventually, and I'm now back in the undeeps. Just in case we get pushed more than anything. I'm really pleased that yet again I've zoomed out on the map, so I can't reveal any pins, which is nice. So that's the map and the fighting. We'll go to the leaderboard, I think, next. So production-wise, Mavius is way out in front. And then we've got Donut. I'm in fourth, so I've still got really good production, which is good. I definitely need it with sort of the amount of fighting that I've been doing recently. I think on the merit board, I'm now at fourth, but I was pretty much, I think I was about 12th the last time I did a video, so it's been a busy week. I think I got 1.5 million-ish merit last week. And I didn't really start fighting until sort of Wednesday-ish, so last week was quite hectic. I'll go through actually the whole of that because the top 100 is quite interesting. I think pretty much the top 100's over 1 million now. And it's got a lot of players in from a lot of different fellowships. So it is a really nicely active server, to be honest. I'm pretty sure everyone's nearly at a million, so they'll be over, I would think, by the end of the day, which is pretty good for a top 100 3 weeks in. This is day 25, I think it is now. So that was that. From the production point of view, I'll just scroll through the top 50 kind of half slowly. Again, there's a good mix. The good thing about the way that the passes and the system works now is that you do get to build up quite an extensive amount of production before you end up fighting, which I think is one of the sort of few benefits of it. Production-wise, we are still joint top with Honk. It's sort of the tail of the tape. I would argue we are probably the strongest kingdom but the resource deficit against fighting 3 kingdoms, which you see is 1.9, 1.8, 1.6, 1.3, and then 1,940,000, does catch up with us from time to time. And that's not a complaint. That's just a fact that it does catch up from time to time, and barracks can get quite low. But I believe barracks can also get quite low from other people. So that's been fun, to be honest. Contribution rise, as always on most servers, Ravens at the top, and we're just sat just behind. You would probably have an expectation that there would be a lot of honk and kill in this top half, just for the simple fact that we're fighting more teams, so we've got more chance of getting contribution. I think this is actually this is the Inter-Kingdom one, I think, to be fair. So if I go back to the merit board, you would anticipate there would be a lot of kilt and honk mixed in with some of the other teams, just for the simple fact that it's obviously the fact that we are fighting more people than other people. So to see other people in there at that kind of level is good. Shows each team's got some heavy hitters. We'll go to the barracks because it's basically at the moment Moria. Apothecary's already at 6k. We have got troop lines building, but we're at 88k. It was a lot worse than that yesterday. We were about 60k yesterday. My issue currently is that I'm nearly out of trolls. And I did have 1,000 trolls a few days ago, so I need to find a new tank soon, I think. Either that or just not fight for a few hours, I suppose. I have had to start filtering in small units just for the simple fact that I couldn't sustain mediums, which is exactly what I expected to happen when people said it was going to be a medium unit meta. It's almost impossible to keep mediums on the field if you're fighting multiple teams, to be perfectly honest. With conscription times and everything else. Resources aren't really the problem. It's just more of the whole... It's just more of the whole experience of having to fight multiple teams. You can't get the troop lines out in time. Even if it is conscription rather than hire, it's just almost impossible. And I know some people usually use Great Beasts who just haven't had the time to use them. Commander-wise, we did get a few bits and bobs from the gear chest, so Dane's still looking pretty much the same. I have changed Shadow's gear, and I have upped his unique. And I got a couple of nice attack rolls. So his attack's now 268, plus this in combat's 288. And then I've actually reskilled him to go 5 and 6. So his attack's over 300, and he's more of a physical damage shadow than the sort of focus version that I had the other day, because I've changed this from the Blazing Tongue. So I've added a little bit more attack and a bit more damage, to be honest. But I've got less focus, and I've found so far I've been getting roughly 10k a fight out of him more than what I was before. Not completely happy with it yet though, so I probably will end up changing that round slightly. I still haven't touched Gandalf's gear. I'm one off now being able to complete the reigns. I think I'm a couple of harps off being able to create here, get through here. Saruman's still Saruman, really. And the good thing is now you get so many scrolls that you can get most of your commanders to level 45 just through scrolls, which is quite nice. So that's kind of the commander list. The main formation's still the same. I did get a few more golds. I got really annoyed. I got so many box of knowledges, but where are we here? So I'm trying to basically build up this high elf helm. And then the plan then is to probably give that to Sauron and switch this to Saruman, and then I may end up running Saruman over Shadow. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see. So we have got some spare gold items again. I'd really like, just to test it more than anything else, to either pick up a couple of these or one more of these so I can switch it to Gandalf. Ideally, I think I'd probably like one more of these. Just because I think statistically with a little bit extra command it's probably a little bit better than the fiddle for what I want. I don't know, I'm kind of just toying with that, but I need one of each really, so I'll probably end up getting something from the chest again and trying to kind of up that and hope I don't get more box of knowledge or something like that. But I still even might use the Saruman chest, to be honest. Some of the chests they've put out lately are okay. Like I say, this Treasures of Arda chest is really good. The kind of items that you get in it are probably the best. The only thing you don't have is an Axe of Khazad-dûm in here, but it's like a more limited version, so you've got more of a chance of pulling a Palantir, for example. Or from this chest, basically, there's about 13 pieces of gear that I could use, which out of the 30 is quite a good percentage with the increased drop rate. And it does seem to fall around this at around sort of 7%-ish, which is quite good. So it's worth doing, I think, if you've got a few Mavens lying around. I personally think this one that unlocks at Chapter 9 is the best of the three. I haven't done anything with this chest yet. I have been tempted because it is a Saruman chest, but my issue with it is the other commanders in it are not great. And you'd kind of think, I don't know, if it's the Fallen Wise Man, for me, the people linked closest to Saruman, I get kind of Gala and Radagast, but I'm not really too sure what link Azog's got to him, and I'm not really too sure what link the King of the Dead's got to him either, so I would have expected something like maybe a Gandalf or something like that. I don't know, but I didn't think the sort of sub people below him are great to get. So I've kind of avoided that chest for now. So that was that. Then there's also this premium chest that's just come out, the Doom of Evil, which again I think's quite a weak chest, if I'm being honest. So I wouldn't put anything really into that. I think they do need to look at that and how many chests you can have out at any one time, and whether it becomes like a more pick your own based system. But I just kind of feel that having that many chests out at the same time, I don't know how many people are going to invest in that, to be perfectly honest. The best thing that I found about this chest, by the way, this heartfelt gift, is that Gandalf the White is actually on the main picture, and then unless you change to his actual chest, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It's like the Gandalf one's got it's got Dane in, I suppose. So if you were trying to look it up in your Dane or your Gandalf the White, I guess that's probably the chest that you try. But then, again, you've got 3 weak commanders behind it, which is kind of the design that they're doing at the moment. It seems to be 2 good, 3 bad, and trying to get you to play the percentages. This chest, terrible for me. So I was kind of on the Fallen Wise Man one, but I don't know. Strange chests. I just think they need to just limit them down a little bit, but that's a side topic. So I was going to go into some battle reports before I kind of signed off on this part of the season. So whether we keep Dog Order or not is a different thing. We're just kind of at the moment, we're not battling close to Dog Order at the moment, which is quite good for us. So I was just going to show you the kind of enemies that we've been up against, and I am one of the bigger players in the team, so I do have to try and take the bigger hits. But this is a really good one. Again, Shadow doing 131k. Which I can't really complain too much about. The donut guys are all really strong, so this was a really good fight for me. Again, I've got some small units in, so resource-wise, it's a really, really, really good win. So that was that one. I took an absolute pounding here. This is the guy. I cannot beat this guy. And I know resource-wise, even with me having full and them having 4876, it's probably quite similar in resource loss. But even when he's full, I lose to about 2.5k, and I do cut into his swans quite a lot, but can't beat him with them swans. Got a really nice Skullhelm with the full refine unique. Great Dane, not the dog, the Lord of the Rings character, and then a really good Gandalf the White. I'd say, yeah, I really struggle with that guy. I think he's probably the hardest donut. Probably gone stale over a period of time or something like that is probably the key. We lost this one as well, and this one's more surprising because I wasn't losing to this guy before, but since we've had to start filtering in small units, you can kind of see why. Again, though, it is T4, so I mean, some sickening Z levels on the commanders, really. So I should lose that fight as far as it goes, don't get me wrong, but I was actually winning that fight before, which is pretty crazy. Before we had to start filtering in the sort of smaller units, really. Then we had, I think this is a similar fight to before. Different donut guy, lower level. I mean, this is probably the weaker of the donuts, but still, it's pretty hard to be honest. So we weren't full there. That was good. Again, Shadow doing sort of 120-ish k damage. Love this guy's formation. A lot of T3 and Tier 4 in there. I don't know where they get all the Tier 4 from. Honestly, it's like they just kind of spawn Tier 4. But they did lose a lot of Tier 4 yesterday during sort of our pushback. So I think today might be a slightly quieter day. Like this guy's team. This guy hits really hard. It's again because of the sort of troop combination. I was running anything here. I think this is when I was defending my base. For a good while yesterday. So he's got a really nice refined EMA unique. In fact, that's actually really, really nice. Plus 30%. So what's his EMA done there damage-wise? 82k. I mean, it's not shabby, but not quite at Dane level. Using some good 1.0 gear. And Gandalf the White with chariots basically cut me down in 6 years, that feels like. Then a nice Sauron too. So this was really tanky. I just struggled to get through that, really. I was quite lucky that I got smalls on Dane, actually. Otherwise, that probably wouldn't have even worked that well. Then we got another Gil user. We've seen lots of Gils on this server. Varying sort of skill levels, really, to be honest. This was a nice one. Nice formation. And this is what I like about these kind of teams, because you can use stuff like this purple on Dane really effectively, because the actual amount of attack that you get is comparable with most pieces. You know, I mean, I've got the golden skin on here, and I'm only getting the same level of attack, so quite interesting. I'd be interested to see what Bjorn does now that I've changed the gear. I need to kind of get back into maybe using Bjorn for a few fights and see what he does. But yeah, that was a good win. He's quite a struggle to deal with, to be honest. This is another decent win. Again, resource-wise, like I say, we've been hitting these guys hard, so it's just the volume of numbers that's more the problem currently, and they have got some pretty big whales that are hard to take down. I was quite happy with this. This was kind of like a taking out 2 teams, and then the LOTR count's really strong. So for me to be half sort of full and do this much damage, I was pretty happy with, to be honest. Some lovely Z level comms, and I like seeing a really cool battle falcon these days. But yeah, we still did quite a lot of damage there, considering where we were at. Without the evasion, Shadow doing quite well. What else we got? This is Hugh. He is one of the leaders of Echo, and a big character as well in the game, which we quite like. Big resource win for me here. His Shadow is also pretty cool. And I know he likes running around using him. But yeah, he's got a pretty cool formation as Hugh, to be fair. Uses Undying for the evasion. And for the tank, really. He's just not for me, Undying. I haven't seen anyone really have great results with him yet. This is cool. I remember fighting this guy. I mean, this is what they do. They get full chariots from somewhere. I have no idea where from. Again, unit counter as well. So to chunk through that much damage is pretty impressive from Dane and Shadow, really. And then one of my favourite parts of the season so far was seeing this guy. And to be honest, it's not a bad result. But when I looked into his Azog, he's actually got 2 refined unique. A lot of attack gear. So I don't know how I feel about Azog yet. I need to kind of look through and see if I actually think he's any good. But 48k damage isn't great. That may be just because it was snipers versus these 2. But he has took out my tank pretty extensively, which again will be the snipers, I would think, with the Great Beast. So interesting formation. Lots of reduction, and did hold on for the draw, which you'd kind of expect with that sort of formation. But there's a lot of investment in that for the result, I would say. But interesting to see that someone's actually done that. That's the first one I've seen at Respect 10 or above, and it was nice to see. Then we've got this guy again. I think he changed his formation, full refined Falcon unique. You know, decent Bjorn. Decent Bjorn, decent Dane, and a really nice Gandalf the White. Really nice comm levels. So we come out of that fight okay. These are just some of the fights. I mean, I could scroll down. I probably will just quickly just to show in a second. But Rako is a good one as well to fight. And we've just been taking heavy hits for days and days and days. It feels like. They use Shire Protectors really well as well. But yeah, pretty strong team really. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how many fights I've got left here. I mean, I put so many in here. It was silly, really. So this is another donut. I wasn't quite full here. I do beat this guy. But again, he's got a really, really nice formation with a lot of really nice uniques. The only thing I'll say about Shadow and this is I don't feel it suits him so much. I'd rather have more focus, or I'd rather have more attack, I think. I mean, his troops tend to die pretty quickly anyway. Which donut are we on to now? That was Rako, same as before. Battle Saruman. We took this guy down pretty well, to be honest. He's kind of one of their sort of mid-level players, I would say, really. But we've been fighting a lot. Oh, and this guy kind of disappears for a day and a half, and then comes back with completely full chariots. And it's like, it's mental. He'll fight for about 5 hours with full chariots and then disappear again. And cutting through these chariots, I mean, you just end up drawing all the time. Same fight again. Again, pretty good result, that one, though. And Shadow doing some serious damage. This is the Zenith Donut guy with the Gil again. I mean, you know, all that glitters isn't gold, as they say, but in most cases like this it is. So we've gone through a lot of different teams here. This is probably my favourite person on the server, just because he is a genuine Dwarf Lord. I feel sorry for the fact that the 2.0 changes made his account really good. He's gone down the route of Commander of Defence, and then once that's changed the R4 as it is now, to measuring off command, not commander defense, really stuffed his gear in his account, really, to be honest. But his formation is cool. Z14 name. Then he's got a really nice foreign, Z10 foreign, which again would have been a lot nicer before they changed the bold from King Under the Mountain. So I would think before the season started, he hit a lot harder than what he currently does. But really, really cool formation. And loves a fight, to be fair. And then we nearly took down Leto with half, which was good. That was kind of all the fights that I kind of wanted to showcase, just to sort of work on a presumption here of sort of showing you. If we change to hit, this is all the fights we've had in the last 3 or 4 days. There's a lot here. I mean, where are we there? We're only at yesterday. So I reckon we've been kind of averaging probably close to 80, 90 fights a day, I would guess. Always good fights with Rooster as well. He actually got me on that one. I can't remember why. I feel like I'd done something wrong. Shire ponies. Oh yeah, I hadn't got a tank. There we go. But yeah, then we ended up fighting a little bit of the Green Kingdom for a while. So as you see, it's been really busy. It's been good. It's been challenging, but it's been really, really busy, and I think it'll only get busier for the time being. A lot's going on. Like I say, we are currently over here by SAV Keep, and this was quite built up this morning. I know there's some people here now, but this was more built up than that. So we've kind of chipped that down. If you look at this. There is also a lot of reports here from today, and we've been kind of hitting it, but getting some really kind of mixed results. I'd say we've been taking down 2-3 armies at a time, unless there's a donut thrown in the middle, which is quite handy. So it's been really interesting. It's been great fighting, but it has been busy. Like I said, I've chucked myself in here a couple of times. So, and that was kind of everything. I said it was going to be a bit longer than normal. I'll probably try and do another one in a few days' time because I was conscious I threw them out one day after the other for a while and then kind of stopped for a few days. But hopefully, the season will calm down a little bit for us at some stage. But at the moment, there is literally just war everywhere, which is great to see in a war game. Yes, people have fell out occasionally, but generally it's been pretty good spirited so far. So, and with that, if in doubt, always follow your nose.